Hi, guys. Welcome to Art Talk with April, Season 3. I'm April Harris of Inked April, located in Birmingham, Alabama. We have some wonderfully inspiring artists on this season. Let's get started. Welcome to Art Talk with April. Today we're talking with Amy Foster. She is based out of the UK and she's a student. She's very, very good at realism and I would say drawing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you so much, Amy, for talking to me today. This will be really fun.
Yeah,
Um,
definitely.
when did you start getting interested in drawing and in art?
I've really always been interested in art. I've drawn from pretty much as soon as I could hold a pencil. My mum was always drawing, and she just was like, me and my sister, she was like, "You guys are going to draw and paint," and she showed us everything, which was which was really good. So I've been drawing since as long as I can remember, really. I've always been really interested by it.
Wow. So when did you or how did you come about being interested in I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. It's Derwent, right? Derwent
Yes,
color
yeah,
pencils. Yeah.
yeah.
So how did you start using more color pencils and graphite in your work?
I got a pencil set. I got the Derwent pencil, Chromaflow pencils for my birthday a couple of years ago. And I just thought, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try doing something. And then my whole style kind of developed from there. And like that became my main medium. And it was actually really good. I knew they were a really high quality brand. My mum always used Derwent things. I'd used like other of their ranges of like their charcoal and like their normal pencils and their paint and that it was a relatively new range that they just released, and it was just became my thing really.
Yeah.
That was
I
good.
I haven't ever used, well, I've probably used the Derwent pencils, like the pencil set where they have like the HB and the
Yeah.
all the different ones, right?
Yeah.
And I never really like got into using the pencils, but I used Prismacolor. Have you ever tried those?
Oh yeah. I have briefly been able to try them. I don't own any because they're really expensive.
Yeah,
But I briefly tried them and they were lovely.
yeah.
Yeah.
Um, I grew up going to school and learning with those with the
All
Prismacolor.
right.
So
Yeah.
that might be why I'm so drawn to your work too, is because I'm like, oh, I love that she's doing these
Yeah.
pencil drawings. And um, so how do you come about what you decide to draw?
I'm really I decided I liked to draw like things in nature because I'm really inspired by the outdoors and just the world around me. And then I decided I want to like I did plants and animals, and then I just kind of focused down on animals more.
Mhm.
And it was things like the wildlife that lived around me. I live in the countryside when I'm like back home from uni, and
Yeah.
taking photos of like all the wildlife and the animals. Um, and then I'd just use them as my reference photos. So that
Ah,
was really cool.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it looks like too, like, do you do any kind of commissions work for other people?
Yeah. Pet portrait commission. So I do sell like people request they message me and they commission like dog drawings, cat drawings, people like their pets being drawn. So yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. I think a lot of times pets are really fun to draw
Yeah.
because they have so much personality in their faces and everything, but I get kind of lost in like their fur and the different colors,
Yeah,
the
definitely.
different like strands of hair. I mean, I know that sounds crazy, but I think
There's so
as
many.
yeah, and you're like trying to capture the pattern of
Yeah.
where, it's lighter and then it suddenly turns darker, and you're like trying to make it really
Yeah.
represent that person's pet so that they
There's
see it.
definitely a lot of pressure to capture it perfectly.
Have you ever had anyone that was like, well, I don't really, I think this might need to be different or something like that?
I've actually not. Everybody who like done commission pieces for, they've all been. I've showed them and they've just gone like, "Oh, it's my pet," and they've been so happy,
Oh,
which is
that's
good.
good. Yeah.
Positive feedback is always good.
Which I could see that because I feel like from your looking at your work, I feel like you take great care and pains to look at every
Yeah.
detail. And so how long does it take for you to do like one drawing or one
A
final?
very long time, sometimes like 50, 60 hours. It takes
Wow.
forever.
Wow.
So yeah,
And
expensive.
so when you're in university
Yes,
and you're going for a bachelor of arts,
I
is
am,
that
yes.
right? Yeah. And are you
Yeah.
taking like drawing classes and things like that?
It's a fine art degree, so there's like drawing and everything from sculpture to photography can be incorporated, but I'm going mainly down the route of drawing for the current first year work, which is
Oh,
good.
that's fun. And what kind of papers do you use for your drawings?
Um,
Is it just drawing
normal,
drawing
yeah.
paper? Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's kind of just normal, kind of, it's got some texture in it because completely smooth paper does not hold colored pencil.
Yeah.
You can't like layer as much on it and
Yeah.
get like smooth kind of transition of colors. I find like the grain in the paper, but if it's too deep, then you get the little white bits. So it's just kind of medium grain standard paper that I use.
Oh, okay. I want to get into the detail a little bit about the way that you're drawing. So you draw out your lines of your
Yeah,
animal,
yeah.
and then how do you go about starting? Like, are you starting with your dark colors or are you starting like with a light layer? Like, how do you get it to be so like vibrant and because I mean it's not your typical color pencil really necessarily. You're getting a really good
Yeah.
layer of color on there. Like how do you do
So I
that?
normally start with like a base color that's kind of representative of the overall color of the animal.
Oh,
So if it's like a brown dog or something, I'll start with like a light brown. Um, and then adding on like a little bit of the shadows. Go over that with white to like kind of soften it if
mm,
it is. And then add in the darker bits, like then the highlights. Define the shadows, define the highlights, and then draw in all the small, little, tiny, tedious hairs afterwards.
which
So
is
that's kind of how I
amazing.
build it
Yeah.
up.
And then when you're doing that, are you like me? So like I do a little bit of that myself, but it's like do you are you looking so closely at the details that you're really drawing those precise hairs, or do you kind of
Yes, sometimes,
you
but
kind of
sometimes I
like
just
you're like
put
okay,
hairs
let
on.
me put some hairs here.
Sometimes I'm just like, I know how it should look, and this is how it's going to be done.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that'll just do.
It's kind of hyperrealism. Is that the word? When you do
Yeah,
when it's like, I mean, it looks so real. It could be, a photograph, but obviously you're doing it
yeah.
by hand. So that's really wonderful. And you say you're using Derwent
Chroma flow pencils. Yeah.
Chroma Flow. Are those really waxy kinds of chroma?
Yeah, they're really good. Like they're good at waxy blending and stuff.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
So
Do
yeah,
they have like the clear sort of blender pencil with those?
yeah, they have like the burnisher pencils and the blending pencils that you can get like
Use those?
separately.
Do you ever use them?
On occasion, I don't actually own them. I've used other people's. I've
Yeah.
been like, I'm just gonna borrow this. Um, I don't actually own any of my own. I do want to get some at some point, but the white does kind of the same job, and it makes it look really, really soft. I find that white makes it gives it like a look of just being a little bit fluffier. So I tend to use that
Oh,
instead.
that's interesting.
So
And like when you're I know with Prisma, a lot of times the wax will kind of get foggy afterwards, after you've done the drawing. Does that
Yes, it
happen
can do.
too?
It does, yeah. It's something that I have experienced with like my drawings. I've looked at them like a couple of months later and gone, it looks dusty.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
you just wipe it down.
yeah,
There's no real way of preventing it, I don't think. I did look into it, but
yeah.
I'm not sure there's reasonable ways of preventing it. Like,
Yeah. I've wondered about that. Like if they're, because, when I was really drawing with color pencil, that was one of those things, I was like, it looks terrible
yeah,
afterwards when it's like really sat there and it's like some kind of foggy, like faded, dusty kind of
yeah, it gets
look.
like a dusty layer on top of it, doesn't it?
And you're like, oh no, that doesn't look right. You spend so many
Just wipe
hours
it down with a
working
cloth.
on it. Yeah. I have to look into that. Like if there's some kind of technique to prevent that kind of thing.
I think you
So,
can get after spray stuff that
oh
gets rid of it.
really?
Like, I think I've seen that somewhere. Like that you can get this stuff that you kind of like spray on afterwards, a bit like fixative for like charcoal and stuff, and it just kind of stops it going foggy. But then you have to be sure your drawing's done, which I'm never ever finished with mine because I always go back to it and think I can add that.
Yeah. Oh, that's so fun. And so you're in university and
Yes.
your goal is to where are you wanting to go with like your degree and your art? Do you know?
It's a big question.
Yes. It's one of those things where, I mean, what for right now, where do you think you want to go with it?
I think I want to do freelance commission work, and be able to sell to individuals, maybe galleries at some point if they think I'm good enough, and
Yeah.
just kind of like work from. I want to be able to work from anywhere because I want to be able to travel and get inspiration from the beautiful world around. Like that's the goal.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh, that's so
so
cool. I feel like too, like in today's world with everything being so digital, you could really do
yeah,
that. That's more of a possibility to like, and I've seen
yeah, definitely.
artists that's what they do. Like on Instagram, they're traveling and they're posting their art, and you're like, oh, that's so
Yeah,
awesome.
I'd love to be able to do that and live in a van or something and just travel and see the world and
Yeah,
draw it and then show people that and then like it enough to buy it.
yeah. Oh, that
Like
would,
that'd be the dream.
yeah. Do you have any artists that you admire or inspire by?
Um, famous artist wise, I love the works of Vincent van Gogh. Um, because he's just so inspiring and like his the way he saw the world and his themes even like just nature and the colors he uses and stuff. But like non-famous artists, my mum, like she's always been the biggest inspiration. Because obviously when I was real little, I used to draw and she was sitting next to me doing a proper drawing and I was just painting like houses with skies that just went across the top bit. and I just thought I want to be able to do a drawing that takes a long time like she's doing and make a good drawing like she's doing. And
Yeah.
she's always been the drawing and art inspirations. And my
Oh,
two
that's
top artists.
awesome. That's wonderful. I love that because I have a little 3-year-old girl and she loves to draw, but she's 3.
Yeah.
So
Oh, bless
she
her.
she wants to draw on everything and she'll draw on the wall and she'll draw on the furniture and I'm like, okay, you've
Draw
got
on the floors. I
yeah.
drew on my mum's rug. Told her it looked
Oh
like a
no.
picture frame in blue crayon, new white rug.
Oh no. Oh, that's when you kind of know you're like, okay,
I think at that
this
point she
one,
knew she's going to be an artist.
yeah, this one likes doing this a lot, I think.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it's just the
I,
creative side.
I have to really hide my pencils and pens and anything that writes, she's gonna find it.
Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. Like she'll be able to draw on anything.
Yeah, yeah, I know. And so that's really awesome that you say that about your mom. Is she do any art right now? Like, is this something that's a hobby of
Yeah.
hers or career?
Teaching, yeah, teaching adults art and doing like kind of art therapy stuff, but in her hobby time, she's up her children's illustration kind of side of things.
Well, that's awesome. I love that. And um, one of the things that I did in my past was I tried like after college, I tried everything. Like
Yeah,
I just dabbled in all the different things. So like I had a degree in graphic design, but I tried teaching art for
yeah,
like children and illustrating, freelance, having my own business. And so I did
really.
all these different things just in order to figure out, where I wanted to go with it and what I wanted to keep doing. So,
Yeah, I think that's the best way.
yeah, yeah. Have you ever considered doing any kind of teaching like that with your art? Because that could be
Maybe
like, if you're doing freelance, that could be like a secondary.
it could be. I have thought about it, but I don't know really how to start and what I'd like teach them because I don't know. I feel like I don't know what I'm doing half the time. Just
Oh,
wing it, guys. It'll be fine. Is kind of what my lessons would be. So
yeah. I felt like I'm like I've been in art for 20, 25 years, something like that. And I'm doing pretty good for myself, but even so, if I were to like try to do a drawing, like
yeah,
video it, like live online or something, I know I wouldn't be using the right words for like the
yeah,
different things like tone and hue and color theory and all the
yeah, definitely.
I would feel like, okay, am I teaching this properly? Or
Yeah. I feel like I wouldn't be able to professionally teach anybody, like, because I don't know. I don't think I even have the knowledge yet of everything that they'd want to learn.
yeah, yeah. But that could be something one day. That could be an option for you. You never know.
Definitely, yeah.
And your mom knows a lot about that. So that could be something too.
Yeah, I'll just ask her.
What are some things that as a younger artist who, you've just started university and everything,
Yeah.
what kind of advice would you give to someone who's even younger than yourself, who
Um,
is really like they're trying to draw, they maybe they don't have a parent that's as supportive or they don't even know like what they should be trying to learn or do in
yeah.
order to, you know, go
Well,
further with it.
I think I would say just explore as much as you can. Like, take every opportunity, every chance to work in different materials, explore all different subjects, and you'll find something that you really, really love and stick with it. Like, draw just no matter what. Like, there's always time for drawing. Drawing every day is a fantastic thing because
Yeah.
it becomes a habit, and then it's just you progress so much, and you'll always have progression in your work. So if you look at a piece and think it's not what I want, or like it's not as good as you know I like it to be, don't be disheartened. And there's always going to be improvement. And one day you'll look back and think, wow, I've come a very long way. So keep going, really.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. That's great advice.
Yeah.
You touched on so many wonderful things. Like, how do you find time to do your art with everything you have going on? Like, when do you,
Yeah.
how do you, especially as a younger person, like focus on that instead of like doing all the other like stuff, like getting
Yeah.
stuck on watching shows or listening to music or going and hanging out with friends or whatever it is. And you're able to like do these commissions and get incredibly detailed drawings done. How do you
um,
do that? Like, how do you find the time?
Devote like a couple of hours to it, like timetable your day. Sometimes if you've got like a really busy day, like if I've got a lot of uni stuff going on or like work or something, I'll be like, right, timetabling a couple of hours, sit and draw, turn off like all distractions. No one can like contact me, no one can get into my drawing space. And then you make yourself work, put some nice music on, then you're not just sat drawing because obviously like it's quite easy to get distracted. So
Mm.
just always like take a couple of minutes, even if it's at the end of the day, the beginning of the day, just even if it's 20 minutes, like it's better than nothing. Even if you only get like two brush strokes done, like or two like pencil lines,
Yeah.
it's still two pencil lines more than you had when you started.
Yeah. Yeah, those really add up, don't they?
It might take a very long time
Yeah.
if you're doing two lines a day.
2 a day. Done. I'm good.
Yeah,
I'm ready to go.
some days you do feel like that. It's like that's enough.
Well, I mean, it's true. Like sometimes you may only do a tiny little bit
Yeah,
because that's all you can give to it. And then there are days where you get just sort of sucked in and you're like, you know,
spend 10 hours on it.
way too much time on it. You're like, what time is it? Did I eat?
Yeah,
Did I?
you realize it's gotten dark, you haven't eaten in the last like day, but you've got the artwork.
You're like, wow, I really had a great day.
Yeah.
Oh, oh, it's awesome. And then like, what you were saying about the progress that you make, like when you're working on something and you don't quite feel like it's very good, and not giving
Yeah.
up. Because I feel like that's one thing that a lot of people misunderstand with um, having a skill like drawing is that it is
Yeah.
a skill and you can learn and get better. Because when
Yeah.
three, you're coloring on rugs and it doesn't maybe look like anything, like it looks like circles or scribbles or,
Yeah.
and you get better at
I
it.
feel like, yeah, people often like as like an oldish child age think I either can't draw or I can draw. And they see people who have maybe been drawing like continually since they were like three. And they've obviously got more proficiency in art because they've had more practice. So then people look at them and go, I can't draw. I must not be able to draw. And they might want to, but they'll feel disheartened by that. And then they don't. But like drawing is something you can always develop. Like you can do it at any age in life. Like it's a
Absolutely.
skill that will always keep getting better. So that's how I see it.
And which to me, it's like, okay, Amy is young and she is already doing this amazing art. Holy cow, where is she going to be 30 years from now? She's going to be like amazing and famous.
Hopefully. Hopefully.
That would be, so amazing for you, Amy. And I just want to thank you so much for talking to me today because this was a
Yeah,
really
it's been
great
great.
conversation. And where
Yeah.
can people get in touch with you for commissions or to just buy your art?
Instagram is where I do main like most of my communications. I have linked on my Instagram. I've got an email people can contact me through.
Hmm.
Um, I think my phone number is also available on my Instagram, so you can just like text me. I have an Etsy shop as well, which people would be. It'd be great if I got some like sales through there for my art. So really, can find me quite a few places online. I have Facebook as well. So whatever you've got, like I'm on it.
Is it like at Amy Foster or Amy Foster R? I can't remember what.
So it's amyfoster.artwork on Instagram, and then from there, there's like a link tree, so you can find my
Oh,
Facebook, my Etsy,
nice.
all of that. And I think it's the same on. I think it's Amy Foster Artwork on Facebook as well. So
Oh, that's
yeah.
wonderful. Well, thank you so much. And everyone, you should follow Amy, support Amy's work. It's amazing. I'm like, oh, she's only 18. This is crazy.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Art Talk with April. For more information on this episode, join the Facebook group, The Art Lounge. Please subscribe and share. See you next Tuesday. Hope you have a great week.